And we're back on... What did I call my ship? The Glorium Stellutus. Glorium of the Fall, I think, was the Latin. Oh, so I can upgrade stuff, but let's see what people tell me to do. Okay, so we've just taken control of the ship. Where am I? Okay. So we just took control of the ship. Like, the entire crew is dead, basically. We've got the third in line for each officer position. We have to execute someone. It's not looking great, I don't think. So, yeah. Probably need to learn a bit more. Let's just talk to some people for a bit. Oh, yeah, I forgot how much talking there is. A thin, pale woman stands out among the rest of the crew. There is a thick bundle of cables coming out of the back of her skull and disappearing under her ceremonial garment. And you see the grate of a quietly humming vox where her mouth should be. The woman sees you and bows her head in a respectful greeting. How may I serve you, Lord Captain? Fellowship. Connect me to the vessel's main channel. I wish to bolster the morale of my crew. The Voxmaster nods obediently and presses several switches on the device she is holding. It is done, Lord Captain. You address the crew with a rousing speech and hear your voice roll throughout the ship, reaching even the normally quiet corners of the vessel. When the broadcast ends, you hear distant shouts of approval. What are the Voxmaster's duties? I am the ears and the voice of this void ship. I supervise several dozen officers and 3 times that number of support personnel. We receive, send, encrypt and decode all incoming and outgoing messages through the ship's internal and external channels. And we also ensure clean communications and the optimal efficiency of the crew's Voxcasters. If you ever want to know what worries and concerns your crew are harbouring, what your subjects are whispering about in the local networks after their watches, and what their leaders are clamouring about over shortwave Vox transmissions, just come and see me. I will satisfy your curiosity. Have the Vox spirits brought you anything interesting lately? Forgive me, Lord Captain, I have no information that would be of interest to you at this moment. Your appearance is unique. You are a Voidborn, are you not? My appearance comes from my heritage, generation after generation of people who spent their entire lives in the depths of this void ship. Neither we nor our ancestors have ever left our home, but the same can be said about many denizens of the Imperium's million worlds. We're used to the silence of the cosmos and the voices of the ship. There are thousands of us, but we dwell far from the Lord Captain's upper decks and remain unseen. We are the Voidborn. Where does the word Voidborn come from? Because we are the children born in the void between the stars, be it the womb of a travelling vessel, an orbital satellite, or a forgotten asteroid station. Low gravity, voyages through the warp, and the countless dangers of space travel. Everything others hate and dread is second nature to us. Tell me about the lives of the Voidborn in my crew. To us, the groans, creaks, and murmurs of the ship sound the way babbling brooks and singing birds do to the world dwellers. We hear the ship breathe, know what it is feeling and thinking. We're a part of the ship, just like it is a part of us. We perform numerous functions, and there are many officers among our number. Some maintain order and prevent mutiny, others serve as shepherds and support the crew. Some devote themselves to mending the body and spirit of the vessel. Most of the Voidborn are members of large void ship dynasties that bear responsibility for a certain aspect of the ship's life. For 300 years, the main branch of the Ptolemaic dynasty has produced the ship's Voxmasters, and most of our subordinates come from the cadet houses of the dynasty. How do you find life on the ship? Life has been quite generous to me, Lord Captain. I am the Voxmaster, and only the best in the dynasty can become one. By virtue of my skill and position, no one has ever denied me anything. Our family claims a spacious section for its demesne. I also enjoy long walks through the narrow and dimly lit corridors of the ship, listening to the sounds of her activity, falling asleep and waking up to the chanting of hymns, and admiring the stars beyond, of course. How do others on the ship treat you? We look, speak, and move differently from the inhabitants of the planetary worlds. Our way of life, traditions, and quirks frighten these people, just like the darkness of the cosmos. Many people believe us to be the bringers of ill fortune, and alas, it is the Voidborn who get the blame for the terrible warp phenomenon during longer voyages. Victus hesitates before continuing. Several years ago, an unfortunate warp jump caused all the food on board to spoil. 15 days later, a hungry and furious crew nearly massacred everyone on the lower decks, blaming us for the misfortune, and hoping to restock the larder with our flesh. I would have been killed during the mutiny had Idira Thalas not shown up in the right place at the right time. She came to my rescue, and the scoundrels' fear of her was even greater than their fear of the Voidborn. Looks like you are close friends with Idira. Webs of tiny wrinkles appear at the corner of Victus's eyes, the only hint that the Voxmaster is smiling. The Voidborn seldom make friends, especially among the captain's entourage. But you see, many consider Idira to be different. I am different too. We have spent plenty of time in each other's company, discussing regicide over a glass of Amasek, a human tabletop game played across the Imperium of Man. Okay, it says chess. A potent alcoholic drink of varying quality, widely available across the Imperium. Except Idira changed after one incident, and we started to drift apart. The death of Lord Captain Theodora made her withdraw even more. I do not know if Idira considers me her friend now, but we used to be very close. It is good I can still look after her, in my own way. I wonder what happened to her then. Oh, perception. Nice. Interpreting the Voxmaster's emotions based on half a face and a Vox-modulated voice is no easy task, but you managed to catch the undercurrent in Victus's words. The Voxmaster is not merely saddened by her rift with Idira, she is devastated by it. Have you ever left the ship? Oh, I did once, and it was dreadful. It felt like the massive blue dome ahead could shatter at any moment and fall. My bones would be crushed by the gravity. Victus twitches her shoulders, trying to ward off the flood of memories. The ship is my home, Lord Captain, and I would not trade it even for the bounty of 100 worlds. I see. Let us return to business. As you wish, Lord Captain. Remind me who you are just to... Yeah, that will be all for now. I live to serve, Lord Captain. Bridge officer. Abelard. Where's the navigation guy? Helmsman. Master Helmsman Ravor. The tall man before you appears to be woven from tendons and muscles. Blue veins snake under his white, almost dove-coloured skin, and his scalp and chin are covered in cropped white hair. His neck and shoulders are wrapped in wires that hint at the presence of neural connectors under his uniform. The officer's face seems to be twisted in a perpetual grimace of annoyance and anger, but he greets you with a respectful nod. Lord Captain, Master Helmsman Ravor at your service. I am the Master Helmsman, Lord Captain. I stand at the wheel of this your vessel, and bark commands at the idiots who tend to its related systems. In layman's terms, I'm the one who stops us from running into an asteroid or disruptive gravitational wave when we're travelling through the void. Do you control the ship in real space? I wish that was my only job. I have to steer her through the warp too, but most of the credit for that goes to the navigator. The warp's a nightmare, always tossing up something new. All my years at the helm, they count for nothing in there. My part's small enough. I just monitor our systems, follow the charted route, and don't kick up a fuss when new orders come in from the navigator's sanctum. Real space. A term used to refer to the material. Yeah, okay. Now that's where I keep my eyes peeled. Gravitation anomalies, void currents, hard radiation, that kind of shit shows up everywhere. Thank the Emperor. The Urgers on this vessel are holding up, and so far we've been able to spot if something bad's coming our way. Who are these idiots you are in charge of? There are too many to list them all. Tech priests from the Engineerium, Voidsmen from the Arga decks, the work-shy fools on the bridge. I'd have every last one of them flogged. They all need a wake-up call. They need to be whipped into shape, or else this ship will be going nowhere. Or even worse, it'll go somewhere we don't want it to. That's enough for now. Right you are there, Lord Captain. You're a Voidborn, are you not? That I am. Born into a helmsman clan in the bowels of a Chartist vessel. Studied the family trade until I was 15. Then my entire clan was butchered in a mutiny by lower hold scum. They spared the young'uns. Of course they did. Kids with implanted connectors make great navigational servitors. But I was having none of it, and they weren't going to make a servitor out of me. So I escaped into the crawlways, and then I spent months picking them off, one after the other. Ravor stops abruptly. You got me talking up a storm. Anyway, yes, I'm a Voidborn. Finish your story, Ravor. Ravor stays silent for a few seconds. Not much to tell. I gutted everyone I could get to, and then I fled upward to the middle decks. That's where the Urger operators took me under their wing. And they have apprenticed helmsmen of their own up there, you see. Nobody asked me any questions, so I stayed. I grew up, trained, got smarter, then ended up a junior helmsman. A dozen years later, Danrock spotted me and lured me away, the cheeky blighter. I can see you are not a gregarious sort. Gregarious? Ravor's eyes twitches, which makes the grimace on his face even uglier. Have I done something to displease the Lord Captain? On the contrary, you're the first person on the bridge who's not tripping over themselves to lick my boots. The helmsman's perpetually twisted mouth twitches as if trying to smile. He looks sinister rather than friendly. Oh yeah? Well, I'm pleasantly surprised myself that you aren't having me flogged for insubordination. Well, wonders never cease. Raver points at the cables around him. Connecting wires. Once they go into the control panel, I become one with the ship. Except the bloody cogs messed up the wires, stimulus injectors and connectors when they implanted them. They twisted the wires the wrong way or burned something in my noggin. Anyway, I can't sleep. It just doesn't happen anymore. It's been 30 years of non-stop stimulants and a splitting headache. So you'll forgive me if I'm not all smiles. What can you tell me about the other officers? Good-for-nothing wasters, that's what they are. Each and every one. Take generous Danrock, the high-born weasel. He fawns over the officers, but some of the deals he makes would get him burned alive. He drags other people into his schemes so they could take the fall for him too. One of my junior helmsmen was ferrying goods from Footfall for him, got caught by the seneschal and ended up in the Void Hatch. Danrock couldn't care less. The Void Master, another Ptoleman like the last one, Void rest him, is no better. She cut off half the Vox channels the day she took up her post. Said the Vox systems were damaged and the Engineerium had no contact with other modules. But how am I supposed to steer the ship? Collect the COGS reports with the power of my mind? First Officer Wersian, I can't stand him. Like every naval officer I've ever met, he doesn't know a thing about controlling a vessel in the void, but he puffs himself up all the same and throws his weight around. Me and him have had words a few times before he left me alone. Thank the Emperor Lady Theodora trusted me more than the Seneschal when it came to helm me in a void ship. Then there's that woman. What's her name? Glass. Lady Theodora brought her along whenever she went. And look what happened to her. I wouldn't be very surprised if it turns out it was that witch that delivered her to an early grave. Just like the countless souls before. I don't see why anyone would want that walking calamity on their ship. But some would disagree. They say she's friends with that young Tollyman, you know? Or at least she used to be. Tell me, do you like anyone at all? Raver looks perplexed. What kind of a question is that? I like you, and Lady Theodora before that. Where would I be if I was making cracks about the rogue trader, huh? I don't want to die just yet. Lord and Captain? Enric Montag, the Infernus Master, nonchalantly lights a low-ho stick from a thermal cutter and spreads his arms in a welcoming gesture. Enric Montag at your service. He smells of cinder and Eho? It's a cigarette. His face is sooty and his belt is laden with a number of heavy tools. You would have taken him for a labourer if it wasn't for the greasy and ragged officer's uniform. Remind me, who are you? I'm just a humble labourer, in charge of putting out fires and dealing with emergencies. But everyone calls me the Infernus Master. Guess this is because I answer for them with my life. With your life, you say? That's right. Picture flames roaring, all the ship's systems have failed, including the artificial gravity. You can't make out anything because of the red-hot debris, and you know an explosion's coming. It's a nightmare, but it's your job to evacuate the panicked crew, eliminate the cause of the fire, and get the compartment back in working order. Of course, the job description doesn't allow me to risk my life now. He smiles sadly. It's all about management these days, sending the boys and girls into the fire. But it's all nonsense, and if the going gets tough, I won't leave them there alone. What kind of emergencies does the Infernus Guild deal with? Oh, there are many. Accidents due to external factors, for example. Hits from enemy guns or collisions with hollow objects like the wreckages of other ships. There are plenty of internal causes as well. From system malfunctions and short circuits to problematic cargo. A couple of years ago, something blew up in the hold. Nearly burned it to a crisp. And then there's sabotage. That void snake did a lot of damage to the ship. A labourer? Then why I have other questions. Ready to answer them all. Aren't you a little bit too relaxed in front of your old captain? Perhaps because I live under the constant threat of an agonising death by fire, I have a repressed, self-preservation instinct. Or maybe I just relish every minute I get to breathe low smoke instead of cinders. I humbly apologise for my manners, Lord Captain. Take the Leho stick from Enric and draw a puff. You're an interesting person, Enric. Chuckling, the Infernus Master takes out a new Loho stick and lights it. Not half as interesting as you are, Lord Captain. How did you come to be in the service of the Von Valencius dynasty? Not in the usual way. My ancestors wronged yours and were appointed Inferni as a result. Hard labour, deadly risks, plenty of opportunity to atone. Those criminals have been dead for generations, but we are still serving their time. Maybe we will find redemption one day. Tell me more about the Infernus Guild. I've learned all I need. That is enough for now, Enric. Never let your fire go out, Lord Captain. I mean, no. Enric hurriedly waves his hands. That's just a stupid little Gildan joke. Seriously, if you see an Infernus next to a naked flame, run. I'm just gonna sound just a tiny bit lower. Okay. Anyone else to talk to? I wonder if she's got anything new today. High Factorium. Oh, this is that Lord guy, isn't it? The corpulent man in lavish clothes bows before you, not without difficulty. A servo skull whirls over his shoulders while the fingers of his augmented hand drum against the sheaf of paper he is holding, and he regards you with the attentive interest through lens of his magnifying implant. Greetings, your ladyship. Janris Danrock at your service. Remind me, what is it you do on my ship? As the High Factotum, my duties encompass anything that might enrich you and your protectorate. I see to it that the suppliers deliver all shipments on time, that our partners do not weasel out of their promises, and that all servants remember that the Emperor's grace can only be earned through toil for the good of the von Venetius dynasty. I also make arrangements to ensure that our hold receives less than thorough inspections by port customs officers, and I find buyers for whatever you wish to sell. How did you come to serve the von Valentius dynasty? I come from Dargonus, your ladyship. I have been subject to your dynasty since birth, and have always strived to be of use to the great road trader. Alas, it was not to my fate to be the primary heir of my own family, due to my being 15th in line for the title, so I decided not to stand in the way of those behind me in case they attempted to shorten the waiting list at my expense. Generous lets out an almost kindly chuckle. While my brothers and sisters schemed against one another, I studied the exact sciences and mastering bookkeeper, the greatest art of the adeptus administratum. I must admit that the accumulation of wealth, something one can control, is far more exciting than hunting, cursing, and the other traditional amusements of my noble peers. What was it like working with Theodora? Oh, now that's a tricky question, your ladyship. Do you ask it of everyone, knowing they risk losing their head should they let slip a careless remark about your predecessor? I shall put it thus. Working with Lady Theodora was never boring and always profitable. The Imperium has billions of subjects, but very few do what they love and what they are best suited to. I would say Lady Theodora was one of the fortunate ones. She was a model road trader, and she surrounded herself with those who excelled at and loved their work. Hers was a rare talent indeed. Where was I? Oh yeah, I wish to know what you think of your fellow crew members. Keeping tabs on your subordinates? A wise move. Tell me, who interests you, and I'll endeavour to be as honest as possible. Janris's eyes light up. He's obviously eager to speak his mind. Tell me what you think of the Seneschal. Lady Theodora managed to do that. Lady Theodora managed to do what even the Imperial Navy could not. Teach Master Warhammer to carry out orders that he fundamentally disagrees with. I do not know what methods she used, but the result is impressive. Having said that, there is something else you need to know. Lord Captain, your Seneschal is capable of being something far greater than a mere conduit for your will. He possessed the cunning and experience to run the Protectorate passably whenever Lady Theodora was away, and that really is saying something. Keep an eye on that old officer, I say, or alternatively, turn him into a faithful ally. I'd like to hear your opinion on the former Master of Whispers. I hope I will never see him set forward upon the vessel again, not even as a servitor, although he would be able to at least some good that way. Someone has to clean the latrines after all. The Factum's bloated face grows stern. He gave us all quite a fright on that ill-fated day, Lord Captain, and still, to speak candidly, I never enjoyed Master Voigt's company, and I believe him to be a man who knew how to do his job. Regretfully, I was mistaken. It turned out Conrad lacked the most important quality for a master of whisperers: unwavering loyalty to the rogue trader, and his failing came to light in the most deplorable manner. What about Voxmaster? Ah, yes, the Voidborn. You know, in my family, we used such creatures as quarry whenever we went hunting. Mutants are the bane of humanity, an unseen tumour that threatens to end us all. But I digress. In the brief time Tolliman has spent in post as Voxmaster, I have not noticed any significant flaws in her character, or anything that would make me question her professional qualities. Needless to say, she is very diligent, as is any Voidborn speaking to earn their master's affection. I believe you can trust her in skills and loyalty. I want to know more about the people who buy our plunder. Of course, Lord Captain. Who interests you exactly? We most often deal with the followers of St. Juris, the Explorators, the Caspelankic Mission, or Emperor Forgive Us, the Fellowship of the Void. What do the followers of St. Juris acquire from us? The Jurisians still hope to bring the Coronis expanse into the warm embrace of the faith, just as their flock hopes to receive the aid of the Drusian missionaries. Each crate of food, shipment of clothes, or box of medicines marked with your seal is a sign the rogue trader herself believes the sect's future success. Reverend Hieronymus is the first among the Drusians, and is most often seen in the Footfall's grand atrium, a gloomy fellow. But some almost believe him to be a saint. Tell me more about the Explorators. Members of the Explorator Cognizance fleet. It has been roaming the Coronis expanse for quite a while now. Omnisa knows what they are looking to find, but their occults regularly show up on inhabited worlds, seeking bits of sacred knowledge, tracking down mechanical relics, and sniffing out Xeno artifacts. If truth be told, supposedly they want to save the ignorant rabble from corruption. A tech priest named Opticon 22 does business with us on the fleet's behalf. He can be found at the docks on Footfall. I'm interested in the Casplakian mission. Masters of the cold trade, immoral criminals, and notorious crooks to the last man. The mission is but one branch of this mafia gang that has taken root in the Calyx sector. You can do business with them as long as you take the necessary precautions. They are led by Vladimir Tokara, who recently appointed himself liege of Footfall. Of course, he is a trusted ally of the rogue trader Winterscale. But he will not refuse you, another of the Emperor's anointed. If you wish to talk to Vladimir, look for him in the Liege's palace on Footfall. What is the Fellowship of the Void? Jairus emits a laugh-like gurgle. A pompous name, is it not? In truth, they are a gang of pirates who are forever squabbling over loot and territory. However, some of their little flotillas need supplies, or can take awkward cargo off our hands without asking questions. Of course, there is always the risk that these scoundrels will change their mind and attempt to board us instead, but so far our macro cannons have managed to keep them in line. They say Riza Calaveria speaks on the Fellowship's behalf. The Adeptus Amacectus on Footfall is rumoured to be her favourite haunt. Why are we giving away our spoils to these people in the first place? To profit from them, of course. Most of the things you will find during expeditions are complete junk to one such as yourself, but the less fortunate and influential servants of the Emperor think them treasures, especially when they are bestowed by the great rogue trader herself. Dracian fanatics and pirate cutthroats, Casplankian dealers and explorators, none will refuse our help in these dark and trying times, and there may come time when we shall be the ones requiring aid, and it would be beneficial to have allies willing to prove them. I suggest we change the subject. I wish to bolster my retinue with skilled fighters. Rest assured, there are people of the most outstanding talents among the thousands of your crew. I will contact the overseers at once. Hector. Okay, so this is... Yeah, we don't want... Yeah, we don't want... My veteran and I are in need of training. Ooh, sparring chambers. Oh, okay. Enough questions, I will return later. Let's have a chat with Adira. The tall, middle-aged woman stares straight ahead, her voice vacant, her eyes vacant as she rubs the implant at her temple. Her collar is undone, and one of the clasps is on the verge of falling off. Sensing your presence, Adira turns her head towards you and offers you a crooked smile, even as her eyes look right through you. Adira, about your abilities.
What are you talking about, Lord Captain?
You are a Psyker. Psykers are only granted the right to live with the Emperor's blessing. Have you ever been to Terra?
Look, Lady Theodora couldn't care less if some eggheads measured my brains or not. It's not about the seal on your forehead, get it? It's about what's in your gut, if it's rotten or not. My gut's stronger than the adamantine on this here ship, and my implants are better than the ones they put in you on your Terra. If they weren't, I wouldn't have lived as long as I have.
Where do you come from?
Lyra, an outlying world in the Heathen Stars region. In the Coronis Expanse, the deeper you go, the less visible the Astronomicon gets, and the less people know about the Imperium. The arrival of a rogue trader is the best thing that can happen to a world like that. The very best.
Tell me about Lyra.
It's an out-of-the-way planetoid between two faint stars. On Lyra, a dozen local tyrants fight over 5 measly continents. But they use everything they can to win, from poison to psychers. I haven't been there in many years, but there's nothing for me to miss. Trust me. But here on the ship is a different story altogether. I saw more wonders in my first year serving Lady von Valancius than I'd seen in my whole life on Lyra. Like my first journey through the warp, I was in bed for 3 days. I felt like supernovas were exploding in my head. I only found out later that I'd gotten off easy. Just through the bulkhead, in the bay next to mine, a whole team turned into... Look at me rambling on, Lord Captain. Pay no attention.
What did you do before you came to be on the ship?
Oh, I embroidered wall hangings in honor of our national heroes. I did the same thing I do here, Lord Captain. Divining. Our rulers prized the ability to see into the future. Every psyker that could be found was worth a small fortune on Lyra.
Okay.
There's no such thing as a peaceful life on Lyra. People like me were especially sought after. They'd pick psychers up wherever they found them, buy kids off their parents, even just abduct them. Take me, for instance. I got taken from my street gang. The older kids sold me when they noticed there was something off about me. The ruling dynasties had schools where they trained us and beat us black and blue. And then they packed us off to serve. Some of us held on for a long time, but others didn't last. Not everyone's as smart and talented as me, you know. Some people crossed the line and were out of commission before their time. Theodora von Valancius paid a visit to the ruler I was serving at the time. I don't know what the visit was for. And it's no business of mine anyway. I can still remember the way the voices in my head changed when I looked at her. They were practically screaming. She had so much behind her, and plenty ahead of her too. As I gawped at her, all of a sudden I heard a whisper. A hint, a suggestion, nothing more. But I know the difference between idle chatter and a real threat. I seized my chance and approached Theodora. I managed to whisper a couple of words in her ear before the wardens dragged me away. They beat me and locked me up. No wonder. It wasn't my place to converse with outsiders. And then Theodora's people came for me. They broke down the wall, butchered the guards. All so I could tell them my warning in full. So I said the rest, but I didn't want to go back to my old life. And so I entered the service of the Van Valancius dynasty.
Okay, have you ever been off the ship?
A few times. Not many. And if I think about it, why would I want to? I've got everything I need here. All the whispers I hear are familiar ones. They almost feel like family. And if I want to hear about the nightmares off the ship, I can. After some Amisec. But don't go getting the wrong idea. If I have to, I'll follow you to the edge of the galaxy. Of course, Lord Captain.
Things are strained between you and Argenta, is that right?
The little sister is afflicted with her own set of voices. Ones that whisper to her about corruption and heresy. The silly girl doesn't realize that if she wants to find the source, she needs to start by looking in her own head.
I'd like to hear your... Did you know Theodora von Valancius well?
None of the officers knew the Lord Captain well, not even Abelard, and she was always closer to him than anyone else. She told me from the off if I ever listened to anything in the warp about her without her permission, I'd be going out through the airlock. I'm not an idiot, so I never stuck my nose where it didn't belong, only when I was asked. It's hard to wrap my head around the fact that she's gone. Lady von Valancius gave me everything I have. She opened the stars to me and the paths between them. I still think I can hear her voice.
I must take my leave.
Of course.
Where is the sister? Adira, bloody load times. Oops. Shrine of Remembrance. Unfinished letter. His chagrin is irrelevant. Woodford's mistake cost me too much. Years of work, tremendous resources, all wasted. He's failed at what he was supposed to be, irreproachable at uncovering spies. This one was a senior officer. I'm not about to discard him. Conrad has served me for too long for his removal to go painlessly for the Protectorate. Besides, he is no fool. He could not have seriously expected to become the next in the von Valencius line when his skills and talents as Master of Whispers are so valuable. Let his disinheritance serve as a humiliating but instructive lesson from which he may learn. Cracked slate. The final transactions with the Chartists are complete. The fiery reckoning is now fully equipped. The object has been loaded aboard with its containment intact. Coordinates sent and received by bridge target estimates.
We need to investigate.
What's appearance pack? Shall I look at 7 distinct hairstyles. Okay. What? Who are you? Would you like to take a bath, your lady? Ooh, look at that. Food. The soothing water caresses your senses, and your grateful muscles welcome the chance to rest. A pleasant languor spreads through your body as you allow yourself a moment of quiet relaxation. Address the Master of Ablations. I wish to see someone from my retinue. Argenta, I wish to know what the Sisters of Battle do in their spare time. At once. Pandora, are you conditioning your body with water treatments? How commendable. Allow me to share some of the water exercises I learned at the Schola Progenitum. Perfect. Argenta briskly explains how to stretch your muscles correctly. She makes you repeat each exercise multiple times as she teaches you the best way to do the bends and squats. Her eyes are alight with righteous fire and her voice rings out with conviction. She shows the same dedication to completing each exercise as she does to destroying heretics. Athletics succeeded. The sister is tireless. It is a challenge to keep up with her unrelenting pace, but you refuse to accept defeat. Your muscles are starting to ache by the time you finish your exercises, but your body feels invigorated. Argenta wipes the sweat from her brow with an air of satisfaction. Good work, Pandora. A healthy body is like a finely tuned bolter, a worthy instrument of his will. I'll take my leave now. Rest and recover your strength. Relax and close your eyes. The tension slowly retreats as you bring yourself to complete stillness. Joint by joint, muscle by muscle, pore by pore, before long you have surrendered to the bastion of your body, to the bliss of oblivion. Troubles, worries, loss, such things do not belong in this newly established dominion of tranquility. There are only the infinite waters of weightlessness, in which, stripped of all things superficial, the mind of Pandora von Valencius drifts in silent bliss. It is a conscious mind, once feels this consciousness. Thoughts of a momentous duty to the Emperor. Such duty can only be fulfilled through service and death, for such is the price of humanity's victory in the everlasting war. The sacrifice of the many paves the way to a triumphant future for the Titan that is the protector of the Imperium. It is a heavy burden to be ground beneath his feet, but it is glorious to serve such a righteous purpose in unity. The moment of serenity soon fades. The body reclaims the mind, binding it once more to the familiar shell of flesh, sinew, and bone. Finish your ablutions. You feel revitalized. This was truly an experience worthy of a rogue trader. Why do I need a party for this?
Ugh, they're staring at me with their burnt eyes like I'm a leper. I'm just passing through, all right? So you lots can calm down.
Oh, I got some items, didn't I? Unfading valor. What's a bolter? Where was... what was it? Yeah, +5 toughness. Whenever the wearer gets injury or falls unconscious, they gain plus bonus damage, yeah.
Just as I planned. I always keep my options open. I always have a backup plan.
Is he just playing... Choir Master Zachary Vase, a tall old man in a long green robe, stands motionless in front of a cogitator. The closer you approach, the clearer you can hear his continuous and unintelligible whisper. You're about to call his name when he falls silent sharply and turns towards you first. Lord Captain? A visit from the rogue trader is an honor for us. Like other astropaths at the chapel, the choir master's eyes are bandaged over with time-worn scrolls of sacred manuscripts. Nevertheless, you cannot shake the feeling that his otherworldly glowing gaze is studying you keenly. How can I be of use, your ladyship? Sanctioning is a brutal procedure, one which robs every astropath of the gift of sight, but in return they gain a new kind of vision that allows them to see what ordinary people cannot. That odd noise inside the chapel, does it not bother you? On the contrary, Lord Captain, it is a mental focusing technique used by your flagship's choir, one that I invented myself. This music was written by an astropath. What my charges I hear in it is not what ordinary people hear. Its true depth and beauty cannot be fathomed without the Emperor's blessing. The music protects our minds from rudimentary thoughts, purifies and sharpens them, but above all else it serves as a beacon of sorts amid the tumultuous sea of souls, a thread to lead us home from the deadly maze. Tell me more about the astropathic choir. Of course, Lord Captain. Is there something specific you would like to know? What is this place? To us astropaths, this place is our cradle and our grave. Lord Captain, you are at the conflux of every secret missive. Every order of prime importance, every scheme being plotted behind the scenes. You are at a place where each of your loyal astropaths is ready to lay down their life for crumbs of information, if that is your wish. If something happens to your choir, where can I find new astropaths? The expression on his wrinkled face grows even more serious. It would be more a point to say when something happens. The Emperor's blessing protects us from the wart's various influences. However, there are horrors dwelling in the void for which even this defense would be no obstacle. Especially if one spends as much time in their company as we do. There is only one way to procure astropaths, and that is through the Adeptus Administratum. Luck permitted, unattached astropaths from the sector will be posted to the ship. Ones who, for whatever reason, have lost their place of service. Failing that, the request will go to Terra, and we will have to wait a long time. That said, there are other options, blasphemous, forbidden options. The choirmaster grimaces. Unsanctioned psychers, unprotected and broken souls who seldom live past their first seances. But even those would do, should the God Emperor put our souls through severe trials. And judging by how rabid the warp has been of late, by the number of dead astropaths, those trials will be upon us sooner than our prayers could reach Terra. I know a couple of places where you can find new astropaths. Idira grins maliciously. That's of course if you don't insist on them all being classy and proper, like this fried-eyed bunch. Okay. We'll speak later, Choirmaster. I've got so much lore. Every ship of the Imperium has shrines. This is where the servants of the Ecclesiarchy watch over the purity of the crew's faith and fortify its members' spirits on journey after journey through the dark corners of the galaxy, where unthinkable horrors lurk. Voidsman at Arm.
Let us not dawdle. I always get the
An ancient looking chainsaw without fuel engine rests on the weapon rack. The shape of its teeth make you think of the Ulma Universal, a pattern from the broad-shouldered young priest makes the signs of Aquila. The Emperor protects your ladyship. How may I be of service? Who are you? Initiate Zek, your ladyship. I recite prayers and help Confessor Adalbert with the rites. What is this relic next to you? The initiate looks over at the sarcophagus, the skeleton within it clutching an orb made up of many tightly fitted hoops covered in glyphs. A mysterious object, but undeniably a holy one. It was donated by a group of pilgrims who studied the legacy of the great missionary Nadine Alenkevov. They believed there was something inside that only someone truly righteous was meant to have. One of the pilgrims was so desperate to witness the moment of the orb's opening that they bequeathed their body to us. Do you have any idea on how to open this orb? One of your predecessors was the last to attempt solving this relic's mystery. It happened a long time ago, before Lady Theodora was born. That's all I know. Why not just disassemble it? To damage a sacred relic is an unthinkable crime, and to use force to bypass the test of wisdom and faith it contains is terrible blasphemy. Open the liquidity. I'm going to try to solve the mystery of the orb. The initiative opens the lock and hands you the orb. Someone has already moved the hoops around, trying to arrange the letters into meaningful sentences. It will only take a few more rotations for the orb to split cleanly into 4 parts, each with its own question. The answers should presumably be formed using adjoining hoops. Form the question in the orb's first quarter. My light reaches everywhere. The greed will see me in gold, the scholars in humanity's cradle, but only the righteous will see me within their souls. Emperor? For better or worse, something clicks inside the orb. Perform the questions in the orb's second quarter. I am within every human, and my loss is feared, for without me comes the end. But give me to the Emperor, and you will be eternal. Okay. Another soft click comes from inside the orb. Form the question in the orb's third quarter. I am poison, I am perdition, I am disgrace. Burn me down, eradicate me, or perish rejected by the Emperor. Heretic? Or weakness? Or transgression? Weakness? In your body, mind and soul you must possess me. I am no mere absence of stains. I bring you closer to him. Loyalty or duty? Oops. Maybe we'll find something later. Professor Aldebert, a plump, rosy-cheeked old man, is lighting candles, taking his time with each. Glints of fire dance on his heavy golden aquila and in his sky-blue eyes as he addresses you, smiling. The Emperor protects your ladyship. Are you here to pray, or have mundane matters brought you to me? Did Lady Theodora come here often? Your predecessor always had due concern for the reliquary's maintenance and its needs, and under her rule, faith occupied its proper place on the ship. Alberta gives you a diplomatic smile. So I doubt she came.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Okay. I guess we could go to a new place then. Should I, Star systems. The events of Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader take place in a vast region of space known as the Cronus Expanse. This spectre is composed of numerous star systems, many of which you'll get a chance to visit. You will find yourself scouring the void in search of routes leading to new, uncharted systems, discovering more routes as you explore the expanse. What you see before you is the map of one such system. Each star system contains objects you can interact with. Objects are marked as points of interest. Move your ship to a point of interest, then click left on it to initiate the event or open the planet view. Okay, so we got an unidentified void ship. This is us, I guess. Journal. Battle Sisters. Oh, where is she? I thought I'd found... Oh, I forgot I hadn't found her. Oh, maybe she's on the map, right?
Rogue trader.
Sister Argenta looks tired. There are dark circles under her eyes. Her hair is somewhat disheveled, and she moves like she's on edge. You said you had a personal request for me.
I indeed have a request, Rogue Trader. The accursed servants of Chaos who assaulted this ship took the lives of your loyal crew members, and they orphaned many children, including the progeny of the brave officers who defended their posts until the bitter end. I don't know what customary practices there are for cases like this in Von Valancia's territory, but in the world I'm familiar with, the children of such brave souls could expect to receive some special consideration. Perhaps the Rogue Trader could meet with the orphans?
I will meet with them. No formalities need. What good would? I will meet with them. No formalities needed. These are the children of people who gave their lives for the Von Valancius dynasty. My consideration is the least they deserve.
I will pass on your instructions. Thank you for taking my request to heart.
The motley crew of adolescents do not take their eyes off you, gazing at you as if you were a creature straight from a fairy tale. Our indefectible sister has been keeping an eye on these pups. Bubba glances at the gathered children. It is hardly the scholar progenium in here, but we have provided the orphans on the ship with adequate care and instruction. Argenta is standing to the side of the group. At your approach, she perks up and announces, her voice ringing, "Brave ones, the master of this ship has appeared before you, the one who guides it through the darkness of the universe by the Emperor's will. Greet your Lord Captain, the Rogue Trader of House Von Valancius." You notice Infernus Master Enric Montag standing a few paces away from the orphan. He watches you with approval and bows respectfully when you meet his gaze. Grandly. I, the rogue trader and Lord Captain of the ship, speak to you now. Your parents gave their lives for a just cause and brought honour to the Von Valencia's banner. I'm proud of them, and I believe that you will become their worthy heirs. The teenagers hang on to your every word with bated breath. Only a few at the far end of the room seem sullen and not particularly impressed by your speech. One of the scowling visitors with a thin scar across his face tosses his head back and says bitterly, "So what? Why should we care? Our friends and parents died in their dozens for you noble lot, and you just give us speeches." Argenta quickly turns to the boy. A flurry of emotions flash in her dark eyes, like she wants both to calm him and scold him for his impertinence. Ignore the interruption. Rest assured you will not be abandoned, you will be taken care of. You can tell by their bright eyes that the words and the very fact of meeting the rogue trader in the flesh have left an undeniable impression on them. Young ones, you won't recognize them in a year or two, but they will learn to salute and speak only when permitted by their superior officer. But right now, clowning around is all they know. Argenta rubs her temple pensively. She smiles and offers a few more words of encouragement, then leaves the bay. Isn't that a heretic? Okay, so now let's visit a planet. We'll just do a save. And then let's go. We're going here, right? Make contact with the Navis Nabalite station. Vox Master. Lord Captain, Astropathic Choir Master Zachary Weiss is asking to speak to you via a private channel. Greetings, your ladyship. I can report that the choir is listening tirelessly to the Immaterium, in the hope of picking up voices from the dynasty's ships or worlds. However, we have heard of something horrifying instead. Amid the Immaterium's tumult, something is screaming. The scream is driving your choir mad. Until it stops, we will have no hope of contacting any of the dynasty's worlds. It is coming from Rykad Systems' Astropathic Station. What is the nature of this scream? We do not know, your ladyship, but it has brought the Immaterium to a boil. It has always been a violent roaring ocean that could spell doom to any who would consider stepping into its waters. Now, however, it has become a cradle of madness, where expelled images fuse together, twisting and crackling before crashing into the minds of all who perceive it. A mighty warp storm like the likes of which I cannot recall rages in the Imperium, and it fills me with terror. If the scream stops, will we be able to contact someone? I humbly hope so, your ladyship. Perhaps we will manage to send a call for aid to the Von Valencius worlds or one of the dynasty's allies. We are going to pay a visit to that station. Thank you, your ladyship. Lord Captain, reporting, the heralds of the Navis Nibelite continue to maintain Vox silence, perhaps due to Urac 5 being off limits to visitors. We intercepted signals from the beacons drifting in the station's orbit. The demands are clear. We are told to turn the ship around immediately. We've also detected an accumulation of space debris near the station's docks. Presumably it is the remains of interplanetary shuttles. Perhaps the esteemed Navis Nibelite house requires aid, and therefore cannot respond to our Vox transmission. Contact the station again. I will negotiate personally. I'm sorry, Lord Captain. The station does not reply even after an official greeting by a rogue trader and the declaration of your intent to negotiate in person. Order the Agur crew to scan the station. Yes, Lord Captain. The Vox remains silent for a while, but then you hear static and Vigdis's measured voice. The officers from the Agur crew performed a full scan of the station, but the information is imprecise. They note wave distortions of unclear genesis that are throwing off most of the readings. We were able to ascertain that the reactor core of the station is still active, but many compartments are unpowered and some fully depressurized. The signs of biological activity are largely present in the central module, which means the station has not been abandoned. So the question remains, why are the esteemed navigator's heralds ignoring us? Order the crew to commence docking with the station. Affirmative, Lord Captain. We do not know what is happening at the station, so you will have to look for the esteemed navigator's blind. Dock safely, and may the God Emperor light your path. Whenever a character performs a melee attack, they gain plus 10 weapon skill for each ally adjacent to the target of this attack.
Pathetic worm. You dare to argue with your master?
It was not you whom I swore to serve within these walls. My lips are sealed.
Who are these?
Confess! What was the old man's last command? What are you planning?
Give up, Keeper. You have lost this battle. Again.
We're getting nowhere with these ones, sir. Permission to execute them.
Wretches, you will be consigned to oblivion for your transgressions. Immortal Emperor, deliver your servants from peril. Prayers will not help you, servants of the damned. In the name of House Orselio, I command you to execute the infidels. Jeez. I wouldn't have done a shotgun that close to my boss. Not a step further. Master, we have some strange guests on the station. Felix Orselio, a tall man, stops you with a gesture when you approach. Blood is trickling down the pearly scales of his weary face. And not just his own blood. Two jet black, unblinking eyes are watching your every move. And the third one, the mark of a navigator's fate, is menacingly pulsing behind the lowered lid in the middle of his forehead. Step back, or I will unleash all the horrors of the Sea of Souls upon you. Emperor, be my witness. Answer in High Gothic. I am rogue trader Pandora von Valencius. I am no enemy to the Navis Nobelite. This system has been under the protection of the Winterscale dynasty for many years. Admittedly, I did not expect to meet another rogue trader in my lifetime, let alone one of noble blood. And since fate has brought such an important person into my abode, allow me to introduce myself. Before you stands Felix Christoph August, keeper of this station. So you did not come to offer support to the traitors. This is great news. Having said that, You must understand that Urek 5 is a holy sanctum of the House Orselio, and the path to it is only revealed to a select few. It pains me to say you are not on the guest list. Do I get to look at the... Can I, like, look at the journal? No. What is happening on the station? Where did all these corpses come from? Betrayal. A most banal thing in the life of a Nobilite. Don't you think? I was stabbed in the back by my closest friend, Theobald Orselio, the second keeper of Yak 5 and my mentor. On his instructions, my own people sabotaged the generators, blew up the shuttles, and brutally massacred the loyal servants of my mistress. Most unforgivably, they dared to take her prisoner. Greedy scum. I swear by the throne's light, their souls will perish in the darkness of the void. Felic falls silent for a few moments, and then furiously slams the end of his staff to the floor. The madmen have captured Lady Cassia, and are now torturing her upstairs while we are idly chatting down here. Help me rescue her or be gone, but waste no more of my precious time. What kind of help are you talking about? I would never ask for you for such a favour under different circumstances, and yet... Felix takes his hand away from his ribcage, notices blood and winces in pain. And yet Lady Cassia's well-being is above all. I haven't got many people left, and my wounds are too deep for me to act with precision and swiftness. But you may actually succeed. In order to ascend to the mistress's chambers, you will need to remake a holy relic sanctified with the blood of Lady Orselio herself. This is the control rod of the elevator machine spirit. I have one part, and the other was lost during the mutiny. But even this relic will be of no use unless the elevator mechanism is powered. How do I remake the control rod? I have a phylactery containing the mistress's blood. It needs to be taken to the laboratory, which is located behind one of the reliquary doors. The most ancient of sacred mechanisms will help to rebuild the rod. The tech priest ceaseless perform the rites of appeasement so that the machine spirit would serve the house in its time of need. The fateful hour is now upon us. So how am I supposed to power the elevator? The station's main conjugator is situated in the guard room. Just enter the correct command sequence and the sacred mechanism will do the rest. If it's so simple, why don't you do it yourself? I never said this feat would be easy to accomplish. The path to the laboratory and the guard room is blocked by the very same madmen who took over the station. They will not negotiate and are not afraid of displeasing the Naviz Nobilite or incurring the Emperor's wrath. They bow only to brute strength and sometimes something which I currently happen to lack. I guess that makes sense. So what have you decided, descendant of the von Valentius dynasty? The rogue trader's aid will cost House Orselio, but you should rejoice, for your mistress will live. So be it. Hurry. The mistress's safety is all that matters. But should you fail, our arrangement is finished. Something's not quite right here. Oh yeah, what was I looking for? Is it rims? Should I ask if the Inquisitor's been here?
The premonition runs true.
Keep your wits about you.
White. Bright, pure color.
and it's all riddled with horrible veins that carry the poison of fear and pain throughout its body. Who are you?
What the
Why
hell?
are you crying?
Trap.
If the witch is talking about the enemies of humanity who set upon this abode of noble navigators, then our weapons will soon dispel their wicked misery.
I won't let it define me. Is there money to be made?
Oh, God.
I'll make an example out of you!
For the Emperor!
Speed, okay.
I'll see to it personally.
Faith without deeds, well, strike is a prayer.
Who if not me?
Oh, missed.
Follow my lead.
I've faced worse than this.
My faith strengthens me. Break their morale.
Someone else can do this. I will do my duty. I took care of this one.
Endure.
It will be done.
Stay vigilant. Follow my lead. Weapon at the ready.
Weather the storm.
Just a minor setback.
Just a minor setback. Who is this? Genta, okay.
I'll do it. The enemies of the Emperor will be undone. Unfabricated. Doubt is for the weak.
Nice.
As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith without deeds is worthless.
Adira, oh, she's not going to make it, is she? What's the range like on this? Not good.
That is not my destiny.
Oh, press space.
Brace yourself, Avalon!
Falsa.
Jeez.
My faith strengthens me.
Yeah, bunch up. I like it when you bunch up.
I'll see to it, personally.
Do I... Oh, I can't do it. Oh, once per round. Do I do it?
I'll make it happen.
I'll do it.
Oh, perfect.
I'll see to it, personally.
Oh, perfect.
Break their morale.
Indeed. Reduced to dust.
Stay vigilant. Follow my lead. Weapon at the ready.
It's like a stormtrooper.
Rejoice in battle! I am his will made manifest. I refuse. Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, none can escape the Emperor's judgment. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, strike is a prayer. Emperor!
Should have used that, shouldn't I?
But of course. What an unfortunate turn of fate.
Don't let your guard down.
Oh, I didn't mean to move.
I'll do it.
Oh, that's annoying.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Oops.
I'll make it happen.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. Grey hair? Sure have. I took care of this one.
Moving out.
The face shields me. None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Okay. Though I have a feeling that I probably shouldn't be killing these guys. What's this? Mutated flesh sample?
Would you look at that?
Meteorite chunk. Ripper, auto, pistol, frag grenade. Consumables. You have found a consumable item. Grenades, stimulants, medikits, and other oh yeah, we know all that. Laser gun. Las gun. Laser weapons are highly effective against targets in cover. What's the difference between bolt? Laser gun. Has a lot more ammo. Can try it at least. What's this? Flak chest piece, medium. Dodge penalty. Oh god, this is bad. The character wearing this armor will dodge 0% of average. Maybe just have this in case. It's so weird how it's blurred. Okay. Dodge reduction. Data crypt H40KO.
That's how it's done.
Statue of the famous Calaxian sculpture and chronicler Xananas the Magnificent. God, those really do disappear straight away, don't they? Intercept between tremendous honor, yes, but this promotion will transfer the entire squad to the child's personal guard. By the God Emperor, well, you are a strapping lad, you'll probably make it for a cycle or 3. It has worn down better men than me. What even is the point if your brain turns into mush? I may rip out my eyes like Amos did. At best, I'll just go bonkers like that little shit stain that kept stealing our low. Oh, what happened to that one? Threw himself out of a depressurized chamber because some voices told him to. We haven't let a single outsider in over 10 years, but the Keeper Theobald keeps finding things to threat over. Imagine the shrieking if he finds out that Keeper Flelick didn't make us inspect the hangar after Lord Winterscale's most recent visit. Throne forbid I try to stay clear of the squabbles among the highborn. Some of the Keeper's orders make little sense, like the last time he commanded that we cut off What? Why would he do that? It looks like he grew tired of Winterscale's Scion's visits. But it's always a pleasure to aid. Interesting. Something's going on. Oh, you numpty.
The Emperor sets my path.
Felix bodyguards. What's this? Training up.
Attention to detail is the key to success.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
The Emperor favors me today.
Damned warp! If we'd been in real space, I'd have...
Idira, stop castigating yourself. Your soothsayings have always been vague. Even if you had her, who among us would have realized that it was Lady Theodora who was in peril? Over there.
Rise to the top,
Christ.
or get left in the dust.
Oh, careful. Jeez, that was shocking. That was not accidental. What's this? Clear.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
Mars pattern sword. 8 to 13 damage, dodge reduction. Oh, I didn't even realize that this sword didn't have area of attack. So it does. Oh, it's got less of that critical. We'll see. Noble silk gloves. Bonus to tech use. Where are the gloves?
I always have a backup plan.
Quiet. They're trying to tell me something.
What advice do you seek?
Success is the only outcome I accept.
Just the same door.
I always keep my options open.
Oh, these guards aren't even fighting. Did you hear the screams? Move! Sir, are you alright? We can't hear anything. Oh no, he's about to like explode or something, isn't he? Now I see. You're in league with them. Is this an insurrection? Yes, indeed. Death to the traitors. Sir, what are you doing? Get a hold of yourself, sir. I know you're all traitors. Traitors, all of you. They told me. They whispered. Hey, who are you? Ouch. What's this? More data crypt.
Is there money to be made?
Awaken the cognitive spirit. That's for the elevator, right? The cognator's vid screen is covered in cracks and stained with dried blood. The button switches and lever were ripped out of the control panel with exceptional cruelty and scattered around the sacred mechanism that now sparks and hisses in agony, still refusing to perish. You turn a few of the remaining dials and pull the activation lever. The cracked vid screen of the sacred engine flickers. The cognator's insides emit creaks and groans and the lumens oscillate at random. It takes a while, but eventually the machines do grant you access to the... Request data on the station's navigators. After a brief pause, the data appears on the vid screen. Felique Orselio, location main hall, status alive. Theobald Orselio, location upper chambers, status alive. All the others deceased. Interesting. The child, location upper chambers, barometric parameters, rapid heartbeat, elevated body temperature, stress level exceed the permissible limit, status unknown error. Attention, calming procedures advised. Attention, upper chambers inaccessible. The control rod is not present. If the rod has been misplaced, immediately contact the station keeper. Okay. Examine the log. The archive data stored on the cognitive local data is partly corrupted. Review Vox Report 12AH8090. This is Officer A282. Do you copy? Several generators overheated on the lower level. 200 servants have perished due to explosive decompression. This is the captain speaking. We attempt to contact the wind school, but anyone in doubt, shoot to kill. Too badly distorted. The servants close to the child have started butchering one another again. The negotiation with the Windscales was a success. A new batch of servants will arrive. Pray the new regime is resistant to the child's power. Data expunged. Examine the ship's docking log. Regent data physics classic. Reason for data class. Yeah. Security support logs. Warning, damaging technical requirements. View the encrypted data. Tech use 35. Break through the Guardian's defenses. Succeeded. You easily bypass the restrictions imposed on the sacred machine. The Congregator's overloaded processors whirl unhappily. Most of the encrypted data has been wiped. You find traces of Purge protocol. Recovery is impossible, as a list of the most recent commands have been embedded in the machine spirit's consciousness. Now flits across the screen in a single creeping line. Child, delete, pict, flow, disable, access code, annul station, controls, delete, activate shuttle, self-destruct, purge, command, log. Only the keepers of the station have access to the life support systems, but Keeper Theobald had not left the child's side, and neither had I. Could it be that? Who's the child? The system cannot carry out the returns. Main chamber. Open all doors. Warning, data crypt. Error is required. Logic 50. The vid screen lights up with a smattering of unfamiliar green signals, and you hear a peculiar click from somewhere behind you. It appears one of the doors in the chamber has opened. Main elevator controls. Activate the elevator. Processing query confirmed.
Let us not dawdle.
The arch enemy's twisted influence found. What's that mean?
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
What's this? Long glass. What's the difference? Las gun, long gas. Oh, it does a lot more damage. This rate of fire is less though. Hello. How are you doing? Long last gun. Yeah, I saw it was on sale, so I just bought it. It's been fun so far. I don't really know much about 40k though. So there's been a lot of reading. So this is just more armor.
just as I planned.
Oh, nice. You might get more of the references then. Yeah, it's been fun so far.
I always have a backup plan.
Heresy has found its way into the walls of this esteemed house. This is a blank day for... What does that mean? Weird.
Keep your wits about you.
Something is definitely not right here. The heavy door is secured by a sophisticated mechanical lock. There must be one way to unlock it from somewhere. Is it back here though? Oh yeah, that's the worst outcome. I guess I just pick random. You're joking, I did it in one go. The passage has been opened. Have you played many other CRPGs?
Is there money to be made?
Biogel. Unidentified acid. Have you played any other CRPGs? This is my first like sci-fi one because I've done I played like the original Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, and all that. But I've never done like Pathfinder or anything like that. So this one is turn-based. So it's more like Baldur's Gate 3. Okay, so more like tactic-y ones. I guess this one's very similar because of the cover and stuff, so... and the amount that you miss. I've experienced that so far. Flesh sample.
Failure is just
Someone
a temporary
disrupted
setback.
this experiment in the most brutal fashion. It's impossible to figure out what was inside. The caustic stench of reagents sears your nostril is broken. Somebody wanted to destroy the laboratory or find something. Battle sector. I've not heard of that one before.
I always keep my options open.
Lady Cassia's Medicaid. They all just lost their minds. Please, don't kill me. Remake the control rod. Transducer. Research notes. More and more servants are being influenced by the immaterium, and it has nothing to do with the child's more frequent tantrums. We've discovered that the corrupted flesh of the mutated reacts most unusually to the crystals we purchased from the Winter Scale dynasty. I strongly recommend finely grinding the reagents to catalyze the reaction. Do not use acid under any circumstances. Trust me, you will not like having to tend to the burns the next dozen turns in a row. This calls for something more basic, as in alkaline. Oh, and one more thing. The tech priest blessed the data crypt H41OK for the calculated number of chronoturns, which means it is no longer necessary to remain near the device while waiting for the reaction to start. The data crypt H40KO malfunctioned over the course of our research. I should remind the technocrats to deliver this sacred mechanism into Magos Deoctus's capable hands. One more thing, the tech brass blessed the data crypt H41OK, then H40KO malfunctioned.
Let's not waste time with pleasantries.
So my character's an officer, because I went with the usually in these games I do like I always pick my main character one where I can give it the language skills. So officer seemed like the best one, so I could just win every role. And it looked quite interesting as well, like buffing up your damage dealers and stuff. And then there's what's this guy? Warrior. So he does like melee weapons. Psychic. And then what is she? My brain will catch up with me in a sec. What is she? Soldier, that's it. She's my favorite so far because she does she can run into different cover and then get 2 extra attacks, or get 2 attacks rather than 1. There's, what is it? Run and gun. The soldier gains +4 movement points. Their next attack costs 1 AP less and does not count towards the attack limit per turn. So you can basically move a bit further and then get an extra attack in, which is great. Whereas this guy's more like a tank. And you can charge in and whack. And then I think she's more of she seems to be more like a debuffer. And then the main character, she can buff a different character every turn. She can make anyone have an extra turn, but they can't move. And they so they can get an extra attack in, which is quite nice. And I think that's a momentum one. Yeah, heroic act. So she can do it another time. Desperate measure. I think because she's a noble. You serve me. And they just the other character just gets a buff till the end of combat. So there was two. What were they called? Oh, data crypts. 4-1 OK was the OK one, and then KO was the bad one. Yeah, the data crypt H40 KO malfunctioned over the course of our research. So what's this one then? KO4OH. I think it's probably a good idea to save. Time passed 10 minutes. Wait, was that it? Oh, here we go. Laboratory Journal H4045 LS. Experimental section. The child's influence on the psycho-emotional state of various representatives of the Imperium. Access level of Celio T prime. Experiment H45451. Subgroup Lowborn male. Acute stress, tears. Died several chronoturns later. Died. Most have their tongues bitten off. Cause of death, severe head injuries. Defective offspring of Lord P. of Celio, pronounced unfit for studying the high art of navigation owing to the mutation of tissues required for installation of the obligatory augmentations that merge one's consciousness with the vessel. Additionally, they display an overall feebleness of mind. Female. The test subjects mirrors the child's actions for 3 days. On the 4th day, the child became upset after hearing the news about the untimely demise of Amos Catalaria, an officer of her personal guard. As a result, one of the test subjects peeled away several layers of tissue from her face and died from the resulting massive heart attack. The last surviving test subject was executed for attempting to contact the child. What the hell? Control rod. What's all the rest of this stuff though? Transducer. Catalyst flask. Okay. So there's some way of making something. Notable. Okay. Here we go. Keeper Theobald graciously agreed to provide samples of his skin growth so he could study the influence of the rebellious immaterium on the flesh of the Navis Nobilite. Navigators are positive resistance to the effects of the warp, adamante, dust, and black water. Okay, that's bad. All of the data was recorded. Okay, so that's a bad one then. Oh, of the lowborn to a degree. It's complete. The meteorite is completely useless. New paints for the child. What the hell? Navigator flesh sample. Mutated flesh sample. Okay.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Which one was it? Adamantium. Adamantium and flesh. Data crypt. Transducer.
What a peculiar thing.
The catalyst was acid. And then the dust.
This could be an opportunity.
Elixir of warp neutrality. Cool. Okay, mutated flesh. Biogel.
Let us not dawdle. Have a backup plan.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
Okay. Okay. Idira suddenly cocks her head and drives her nails deep into her shoulder. The crossroads. There are two paths, both stained with blood, both leading to the accursed eye. They all wear masks, so poor and flimsy they fall at the slightest touch. One hiding a blind man, another a traitor. Who is who? Who do you see behind the masks? My whispers are giggling nastily. They will not speak, the naughty little things. They say that tearing off the masks is your... Tell me more, what paths? I cannot say. One is paved with blind faith, the other with hatred and treachery. Both lead to tragedy. You simply have to decide what kind of tragedy you like the most. Thank you. Everything is clear now. This station has enough problems without your sorcery, Psycho. I have many questions regarding what happened on the station. Who is the child mentioned in the documents and reports found on the station? You meddled with something that you should have been left alone. The keeper folds his arms and shakes his head disapprovingly. The child is what the station's servants called Lady Cassier. For the commoner's dirty mouse must not sully her name by uttering it. You see, it is not beneficial for all servants to have their vocal organs altered. Some prove to be more useful when they are able to speak. The madmen I fought were convinced that we were the traitors. That's why they are insane. Will you really heed the ramblings of retainers who dare to raise their hand against the scions of a noble bloodline? The servants alone cannot be blamed for what happened on the station. Oh, bloody mouse. The servants alone cannot be blamed for what happened on the station. Most corpses I discovered were either unarmed or feeble. Did you really think mere servants could plan a coup? The senior officers are just as guilty. Half of my guards butchered one another because they suspected treason. As for the real culprit, the coup was staged by those closest to the mistress. Destroying the shuttle, shutting off the power, disabling the too many of those things require special access. Access only available to the keeper of the station. I am sure you are aware there were two keepers of the station. Your guess is absolutely correct. Theobald Orselio, the demented old man obsessed with Lady Cassier and her power, and also the one to blame for the woes that have befallen Uruk V and our noble line. I saw the security captain's report. Only the keepers have access to the security systems, but Theobald stayed at his side the entire time and could not have initiated the self-destruct protocol. Which means he did it before the report was filed, or maybe after. Or Felix's stern face twisted in disgust. You dare suspect me of what happened? The one who was going out of his way to preserve what little there is still left? By the God Emperor, you will keep those slanderous accusations to yourself. I listened to the recording of a private conversation between the station's officers. I was lenient, that is true, and in the end I paid a steep price for it. Just look at the destruction around us. The insurgents have left almost nothing of my home. The keeper spits out the last few words in particular bitterness. Enough lies, Felix. I'm certain that you're the one behind this coup. He nods wearily. I suppose it is time to remove my mask. Congratulations, you've got me. But did you really expect me to be sincere this entire time? To welcome you with open arms, an ally of Sisyphone and her monster, the accursed child who has tormented the navigators of House Orselio for years? Don't make me laugh. You were alive to help her completely destroy our house, and I cannot let that happen. Felix, you are obviously quite mistaken. I came here to get myself a navigator, nothing more. You did not? You do not? Felix hesitates for quite a while. In that case, accept my sincere apology for the deception and my earlier behaviour. I had no intention of making an enemy of Von Valencia's heir, nor of destroying the station that served as my home for many years. It left me no choice. You cannot even imagine what monster lurks in the upper chambers. An evil, a plague, a pestilence in our bloodline that seeks to destroy House Orselio from within. And Theobald and his followers, just mindless fanatics serving this evil. Lady Cassier is a sign of a merciless tyrant, but it is not her relation to Sisyphone that is terrifying. She is a monster whose powers drive servants insane in mere turns. A cursed child who can kill a navigator in the Orselio bloodline with just a look. I alone managed to get close enough to her over the years. She lowered her guard and trusted me, and at long last I rid my house of the curse. This is the truth. Okay. If your cursed child agrees to become my navigator, I will gladly rid you of this burden. You don't understand. This is... You are correct. This may work. It is certainly possible. You are going to need this charm. Felix hands you a precious stone without a setting. Its luminous surface remains cold to the touch, no matter how long you hold it in your hand. If you manage to press it against the monster's skin, whether by force or by guile, the baleful influence of her powers will recede. You will be able to take her and leave the station. Oops.
Is there money to be made?
What the hell? Cassia, the pale figure with unnaturally long limbs, covers her face with her hands, which are deformed with talon-like nails. Her deathly pale face is coated with blood that continually streams from her scarlet misted eyes. Her spiny gills, slightly hidden under her disheveled hair, twitch nervously at your approach. Only now do you notice the third eye on the young woman's forehead, hidden by a jeweled ornament. And when your eyes meet, you sense overwhelming, soul-smothering power. Willpower test succeeded. You are enveloped in despairing grief, and an invisible hand closes around your throat, cutting off your breath. Your limbs seem filled with lead, your heart hammers in your chest, and the desire to turn and flee from this room, from this station, almost gets the better of you. At the last moment, you master your emotions, and your will pushes back against the illusion, forcing it to retreat. Adira emits something between a moan and a drawn-out whimper. Ow, 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 as if my own little pals weren't bad enough. Now this one's barging into my head. Somebody stop her. Heresy. Argenta looks at the tall figure with a strange mixture of anger and sadness. Then she lowers her head and her white hair veils her face. Lady Cassia, I'm here to help you. Please calm yourself. Persuasion succeeded. She wearily shakes her head and lets out a drawn-out sound similar to both a sob and a howl of a small wounded animal. What is happening? Was someone calling my name? Are all the betrayers dead already? And you? Who are you? Pandora von Valencius, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Unease settles over her features, and she nods cautiously. Pardon my manners, Pandora. I did not expect to make such a gracious acquaintance in such a time of great sorrow for our house. What is this? I feel faint. Theobald Orselio, the heavy-set old man who has been kneeling nearby, erupts into low sobs. The child, Lady Cassia, where are you? Sacred child, throne preserve. Despite his vulnerable age, the navigator leaps up and rushes to the young woman's side. You! The old man shifts, revealing his face to you. It is threaded with jet black veins, and his bulging milky eyes bear a striking resemblance to those of a dead fish. A sickly sweet scent assaults your nostrils as if the old man's flesh is rotting inside his decaying husk. My eyes fail me, for they are unable to make you out as either enemy or ally. I'm warning you, one wrong move will bring the wrath of House Orcelia upon your head. Watch out, Lord Captain. This one's so deranged it's making the whispers shriek like crazy. He might just open that eye of his. Threatening the head of the dynasty is a grave offence esteemed, whoever you are. At present, I'm trying to determine what is happening at Uruk 5. I'll grant you that you do not look like pirates who've come coveting the riches of a wrecked station, or like scoundrels in Felix's service, so who are you? To you, old man, I am your ladyship rogue trader. The impassive expression on the navigator's deformed face does not flicker. Haughty, as I thought, you're indeed of noble blood. Then what brings such an important personage to a station of House Orcelio, one of the greatest houses of the Navis nobilities? And what do you want from me? Speak. What is this curse that has been taking a hold of everyone in this room? Curse? You do not understand the sacred gift given to our child. When the child is sad, we all weep. When the child smiles, we all laugh giddily. When the child smiles, and if the child wants blood, the world turns crimson. The child's will is the will of the great Tisiphone, for she is the heir of House Orcelia. And they call me dangerous with my witchcraft. I'm simply seeking a navigator to join my crew. Then you have come here for nothing. Uruk 5 is an observation station. We do not make contracts, and we do not supply navigators. I must tell you plainly, the old man winches in pain, but you don't see any wounds on his body. You have chosen a most inconvenient time for recruitment negotiations. Where have I heard that before? That is, Master Felix was babbling something similar. Or did I imagine that? Was it just one of the possible outcomes that I foresaw? My head is killing me. I want to know what happened between you and Felix. Felix is my wayward student. He came to Uruk 5 as a callow youth. I personally mentored him and entrusted him with the care of the child. He was like a son to me, but he proved to be just another traitor. He sought to steal our most precious treasure, the heir of the house. Our sacred child, to revel in power with others like him, casting our house into the abyss. To pervert the centuries-long tradition of our family. You can see the fruits of his villainy for yourself. He decided he was not bound by his duties to the legacy of the greatest of our novators. Tisiphone Orcelio, who led our house to prosperity for countless years. Foolish boy, the renegades clouded his mind. They sought to seize control of the dynasty before the sacred child had come of age and taken up the novator's throne. So choose whose side you are on, a murderous traitor or the lawful scion of a noble house. Do I attack or... I will be taking Lady Cassia now. You may come with us or perish. Rash words that will cost you a life. To me, defenders of the child, duty calls upon us now.
Close ranks!
For the Emperor!
Okay. When does he get to attack? Forever. Oh wait, she's not. Oh, I forgot I changed my weapon. Deadeye shot. What's the difference?
Strike is a prayer. Faith without deeds is worthless.
Oh, I didn't even see there was a person there.
Guided by faith. As the Emperor commands, I act.
Visions of triumph. Soul gaze. Oh.
Me.
Follow my lead.
My prescience has failed me.
To the heretics!
Onward!
Pain cleanses the body.
Okay, Pandora. You serve me.
I'll see to it personally. It's as good as done. I'll see to it personally.
I'll do it. Eradicate it.
Let's make some opportunities.
Why do they walk slow?
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. Target well struck. Victory is imminent. I will do my duty.
Was that you? Or... What is this foreboding? Be gone!
Strike is a prayer. As the Emperor commands, I act.
I've never felt pain like this.
My faith strengthens me.
Okay, Pandora.
Who, if not me? I'll see to it personally.
Faith without is why I was chosen.
Of course.
It will be done. At your beck and...
I know what is to come. On it. Will do.
Get some extra dodging. Okay.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
I'll do it.
Doubt is for the weak.
Oh, why didn't she move?
High momentum.
On it.
What's this?
It's as good as done.
Power resides in the will of the righteous.
I'll do it.
Each strike is a prayer.
Nice. What have you done? Oh, is she gonna be? Don't touch me. I will manage on my own. Don't touch me.
I know how to take risks.
Autogun. Staff of Orselio Guardian. Armored body glove. Okay, choose talent. Blood of Martyrs. If a noble uses an ability on their servant, the servant gains 1 AP next turn. Does not stack with itself. level... Wait, am I level 5? One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess I am. If a noble uses an ability on the servant gains +1 AP. Oh, this is an ability, isn't it? Oh no, this is level 6. The warrior gathers all their might for a crushing strike. The next melee attack pushes the enemy away. Cannot be used with a heavy rock saw. Probably athletics, I guess. Get more strength. The operative inflicts an exploit even on enemies which are out of your... Oh, wow. Wait. Every time the psychic deals mental damage from any source other than aftershock, the target suffers half as much mental damage at the end of their turn. The soldier's next range burst attack will have its base fire damage doubled, but deal 25% less damage. All the shots will follow a random trajectory.
Join me in prayer.
Fate and fortune favor the bold.
Don't touch me.
I always keep my options open.
Rogue Trader, you came back. You hear equal parts confusion and frustration in Felix's voice, and drag this monster along good. Cassia flinches at the navigator's words and clenches her fist. Traitor. Be silent, monster. Is it not you who has been tormenting your subjects this entire time? What are you talking about? I'm Cassio Orselio, one of the heirs of the house. I've never tormented anyone. I spent my entire life on Uric 5 in the company of Felix and Theobald, and both remained in good health up until this day. I do regret it now. I see the acid green rings of deception. Oh yes, about that. He shrugs awkwardly. Forgive me for this little lie, Rogue Trader. You serve the noble cause of liberating House Orselio like no other, for which I will forever be grateful. We could have become close friends. Liars like you, sir, do not deserve. I beseech the Emperor, shield me against this evil. The word stuck in your throat and your hand refuses to obey. The hatred of Felix overwhelms your entire being. How could he? How dare he betray you? His mentor? His house? You hear a woman... Oh, God.
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
Purge them!
Am I fighting her or... Okay, you serve me. Well, I'm missing skills, am I?
I'll make it happen.
Faith without none can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Deadeye.
I'll see to it personally.
Of course you missed.
Break their morale!
Damn you.
Ears are ringing.
What was this one? Gathers all their might. The next pushes the enemy away.
That's not the Seneschal's job. Grey hair, sure hair. Indeed, one fewer target.
Jesus.
Stay vigilant.
Follow my lead.
Just a minor setback.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
You fool.
Do it. Doubt is for the weak.
It's not quite.
But of course. Will do.
Follow my lead. Weapon at the ready.
Didn't flinch.
Follow my lead.
Follow my lead.
What an unfortunate turn of fate.
Who, if not me?
As the Emperor commands, strike is a prayer.
I'll see to it personally.
Oh, of course you missed. Useless.
It's as good as done.
I will do my duty. I took care of this one.
I have read tomes of military tactics. How low can a man sink in the pursuit of power? Is your hatred of me really so strong, Felix?
Cassia's ruby eyes fill with bloody tears as she looks the traitor in the face, and your heart is wrecked by unbearable grief. I regret we had to meet under such circumstances. What need
have I for your regrets? I just want things to go back to the way they were before. What are you going to do to me?
Lady Cassia, I, Pandora von Valencia, rogue trader of the Imperium of Man, offer you my protection and grant you shelter aboard my vessel.
I beg your pardon, but what about my servants? Yurak 5 is still full of people loyal to House Orselio.
All who can be saved will be given succor on board my ship.
As a Lady Navigator of House Orselio, I accept your gracious offer of protection. Please, take me to your vessel. I can no longer bear the pain of this place.
Shotgun. Data crypt. Oh, okay, yeah, that's that stuff. Okay, let's get out of here then.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
To inventory. Mutated flesh. Biojet. Oh, okay, yeah. I choose to remain trophies and leave this location. Collect the remaining trophies. Lord Captain, Lady Navigator, welcome aboard. The Sanctum Navis has been prepared for the communion ritual, but if the Lady Navigator wishes to rest in her quarters first... Your heart starts beating furiously, your breaths come short and choppy, and your fingertips tingle unpleasantly. You notice that Vigdis is shivering slightly, and the crew grunts around in puzzlement, searching for the source of this sudden wave of unease. You decided not to make use of the charm that could inhibit Cassio Orselio's power. Whoops. Without even looking at the Voxmaster, Cassia waves her away. First, I wish to speak with the rogue trader. Leave us. Of course, when you're ready for the ritual, please let me know. Cassia sweeps her pensive gaze over Vigdis, then lowers her lashes slightly, turns to you. What did you wish to speak about? After a few seconds hesitation, Cassia lets out a small exhale and then raises her pointed chin. I've not yet thanked you for saving me on the station. My thoughts were clouded with so much mourning ash when Theobald's heart stopped, but you acted honourably and did not exploit me in my wretched position, and for that I am immeasurably grateful. I am also deeply grateful that you saved my servants, especially my valet. Irv served me on the station for more than 5 years, much longer than any who preceded him. He knows how to properly attend to me during journeys through the Immaterium and what to serve me for breakfast. His presence envelopes me in a cloak of amber. But now, Cassia throws back her shoulders. I am ready to go to the Sanctum Navis and perform the sacred rite. I require brushes, canvas, and the best paints you have on board, but no red. I shall ensure that all the necessary supplies are delivered to the Sanctum Navis. Cassia nods in thanks. I shall take my leave of you for the duration of the rite. I ask that you do not follow me. Few can survive the gaze of my warp eye when it is opened. Lord Captain, I will oversee the open channel between the Lady Navigator and the bridge, and may the Emperor's light help us all. I'm not jumping now, am I? The Voxcaster in the Sanctum Navis picks up the serration of cloves, pious chanting, and the metallic clicks of implants. Then the serene voice of the Lady Navigator breaks the silence, initiating communion ritual. Come here, Irv, the exultant ring of metal freed from its scabbard, the low sob of the servant, the rhythmic drip of liquid on canvas, the faint... Oh, that's why she didn't need red. Jeez. I see violent vortices lashing. What was that? One sec. Oh, the wind's closing my window. And here, beyond the wall of glass, a daughter forsaken by her father yearns for her brother, and the sun's pale disk goes in tireless pursuit. Know of me, his frozen rays lie that spring is here, the light is deadened, the great ruler is gone. The Voxmaster recoils at Cassia's words and accidentally snaps one of the cognator levers. The panel beneath her fingers emits sparks and the Voxcaster falls silent. My abject apologies for cutting off the broadcast, Lord Captain. I've never heard the warp speaking through a navigator before. The connection is restored now. It will not happen again. Voxmaster, see to it that you receive 5 lashes for this show of clumsiness. It appears the servants were part of the Lady Navigator's right, as it was for her predecessor. I arranged for the bodies to be removed from the Sanctum Navis after the ritual, or what is left of them. Rogue Trader, I fear I have unfortunate news. Endless blackness has spread across the canvas, dividing what should be whole in two, and my sight cannot glimpse the light of the Emperor as clearly as before. I cannot turn around my brush. It only draws me onwards, the way is blocked. You hear a heavy exhale, rustling fabric and metallic clicking. By the Emperor's grace, the ritual was successful. Your vessel's temperament presented a challenge. Its cold steel grip did not allow me to breathe freely even for a second, as if the depths of this ship housed not only my machine spirits, but something other. Now I will retreat to my chambers to recover my strength. Send for me if you have need of me. Lord Captain, congratulations on acquiring a navigator. Please spare me a moment of your time, as there are several matters that require your attention. First of all, I wish to report on the condition of the station, Urek 5. Had you opted to begin your visit to the Rykard system with a different destination, the station could have become critically unstable. Fortunately, the decision to immediately visit the representative of the Navis nobility bought us precious time. We can either focus our efforts on disassembling the station and procuring technological components for our vessel, or attempt to save as many valuables as we can. Loot everything from jewelry to the very last manuscript. What's this icon mean? You will gain profit factor. As you command, Lord Captain. With your permission, I would also like to remind you that we are still looking for an Engineer Prime. Both the vessel and its machine spirits are in desperate need of oversight by an experienced tech priest. We are also missing some crew, and more importantly, we have not yet located Henrik van Kalok, to the right hand of the Lord Inquisitor. Now we know for certain he was not at Urek 5, so we can keep this in mind when making any future plans. Thank you, Vigis. That will be all for now. As it pleases you, Lord Captain. Oh. Okay, I think that's it for now. Unless something pops up. We'll be back later with some more. We'll go to one of the other places, I think. Get some more crew. I don't know why this shit takes the longest. Yep, so we'll save it now. Until then, see you next time.